Here we go again. I've said it before. If history doesn't repeat, it will rhyme. Call hello Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Makakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great mills and noble well. I am not a member, however, I've entered into their labors. Peace and mercy to the sincere brothers and sisters doing this wherever you are, whatever your lot may be. And we're gonna open up the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8, verse. Do I want to start 7? Yeah, we'll do 7, but the point is in 8, and we're gonna get it in the GNT as well. And of course, this is about chasing wisdom, being prudent, and with the chasing of wisdom and with prudence and with discipline, you become a very well read, a well learned, a well studied man. The scriptures, that is a byproduct of learning these scriptures and implementing what you know or what you have learned through the Spirit, right? So let's go ahead and read 7. I'll do 6. Yeah, 6. And if prudence work, and if, okay, no, 7. And if a man love righteousness, her labors are virtues. For she teacheth temperance and prudence, justice and fortitude, which are such things as men can have nothing more profitable in their life. If a man desire much experience, she knoweth things of old, and conjectureth aright what is to come. She knoweth the subtleties of speeches, and can expound dark sentences. She foreseeth signs and wonders, and the events of seasons and times. Therefore I propose to take her to me to live with me, knowing that she would be a counselor of good things, and a comfort in cares and grief. Sophia. All right. Um, what you see here in verse 8 is an integral part of prophecy. But before you can prophesy, you have to have faith that and believe that these things are going to happen. Because without faith, you're not going to want to repeat what you heard. You're not going to want to eat the roll and then go and preach what you've eaten. All right, even the bitter. You may not even want to believe the bitter because in the flesh you're scared. But hey, pray on that, right? So let me read it 8 and 8 again here, and then we're going to move on to the rhythm of history. I think that'll be the title, the rhythm of history, if I can remember. All right. Verse 7 and 8 here, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 8 in the GNT. Do you love justice? All the virtues, all the virtues are the result of wisdom's work. Justice and courage, self-control and understanding. Life can offer us nothing more valuable than these. Do you want to have wide experiences? Wisdom knows the lessons of history and can anticipate the future. She knows how to interpret what people say and how to solve problems, especially when you're dealing with a forked tongue devil. She knows the miracles of that Yahweh will perform and how the movements of history will develop. So I decided to take wisdom home to live with me because I knew that she would give me good advice and encourage me in times of trouble and in grief and grief. So in light of everything that we have with the certain 3-letter agency, um, frozen water, we'll just the frozen water brigade, uh, we are witnessing a repeat here, and this system that that the everyday E thinks is broken is operating as designed. It is just now, as everything throughout E's history, it eats itself. It cannibalizes itself because when they are incapable of rulership, they are incapable of leading anything. They are incapable of prudence or wise judgment, and that greed. That even from Genesis 24 when he sold the birthright and then tried to double back on Jacob. That greed, that hastiness has always been their undoing. They have always cut each other's throats or stabbed each other's backs. And this is societies have always just imploded. You see Rome, and now you're seeing it again. All right, that beast whose deadly wound was healed, that is what we see. That deadly wound that was first dealt was, the Roman Empire. And with the healed wound you have here, but at the very same thing. All right. And what you're dealing with is somebody who is backed into a corner. All right. What does Second Ezra tell you? 6 and 9. Is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So why would somebody who thinks that they have the entire world at their fingertips, right? The scriptures tell you that he thinks that his house shall continue forever, but he shall perish, right? Psalms 49. Let me just open up another one here. Psalms 49 and 11. All right, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places for to all generations, or to all generations. They call their land after their own names. Nevertheless, man being in. Okay, no, that's all we needed. That was it. Um, yeah. This their way. Let me just finish. Nevertheless, man being in honor abideth not. He is like a beast that perish. Yeah, yeah. I'm glad we kept going. This their way is their folly. Yet their posterity approve their saying. All right, but really, what we want here is, they thought that their houses would continue. So when you start to see a glimpse of your undoing, you get paranoid. You turn into a dog backed into a corner, and you want to watch everything. I don't know the scientific term about somebody that's guilty, that paranoid guilt that people feel, right? When say you did something, you're on the run, you're a fugitive and a vagabond. Genesis 4. We'll get that in a second. But let's see. Let me see. How can we write this? What is the? I know it's not scientific. Maybe it. What is the uh, psychological? Psychological term for a or guilt trip. Maybe no. A guilty person feeling paranoid. I don't really know how to word it. Paranoid. Obviously, I can't spell either. Delusion, no guilt. A guilty person feels paranoid, often experiences delusional guilt, leading to persecutory delusions, where they believe others intend to harm because they feel they deserve punishment, a symptom seen in severe depression or psychosis, or a manifestation of a guilt complex leading to general distrust and suspicion. And what do people want to do when they distrust? They want to see and hear and know all. The scriptures say, I will be like, he says he wants to be like the Most High, right? He want to set his nest in the clouds, and most importantly, he wants an injectable for the detectable. All right, so let's go ahead and get to Isaiah 14:14. And we still ain't even got to the point here, but we gonna get there. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, right, or to a low estate, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that had made the earth to tremble, that did it shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof? That opened not the houses of his prisoners. All right, all the kings and the nations, even all of them lie in glory, everyone in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy graves like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with the sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. And it goes on to say that they shall not be joined in burial, right? Um, So let's go ahead and get to what we're getting here. And I want you to draw the parallels, right? Remember what we opened up with. Okay, wisdom allows you to see things, draw parallels, roughly paraphrase, connect dots, and you can piece things together to see what's going to happen next. All right, so let's see. All right, so we're going to go over Palmer raids. All right, was a series of aggressive law enforcement operations conducted by the DOJ between November 1919 and January 1920. Right, this is right after the First World War I. During a period of intense anti-communism, right, hysteria known as the First Red Scare. These raids targeted suspected radicals, anarchists, communists, and other leftists, many of whom were immigrants, in response to fear of Bolshevik-style revolution in Babylon, right, following WW Uno, right, and there needs to be a boogeyman, and the best boogeyman is one that's intangible, right? War on terror, war on drugs, all right, and then you can speak the fear of people, right, and when people are scared, they tend to, fall in line a little bit more, even to their own detriment. Right? That's why you had well, you know what I'm talking about, the event in 2001. But anyway, all right. And a wave of anarchist bombings, including one that targeted Attorney General A. Mitchell Palmer's home. All right, the operation, and I would go out on a limb to say that this may have been an alleged FALSE, all right, a little swan event thing, all right. I thought just so that they could go ahead and execute what they already planned on doing in the first place. All right. The operations involved mass arrests across dozens of cities, often without proper warrants, leading to the detention of thousands. Estimates range from 3 to 10,000 people, deportations of over 500 foreign-born individuals, such as prominent anarchist Emma Goldman. All right. The raids were marked by poor planning and excessive force and widespread civil liberty violations, including beatings, indefinite detentions, denial of legal counsel, which later drew significant criticism and contributed to the debates over the constitutional rights. Right, but he was later disgraced. I believe Judge Palmer was later disgraced for this thing here, but it didn't matter. The damage was done. The precedent was set. All right. Now you have here, if you don't know who this person is, then you have been living under a rock. All right. Then, because this is what I ask, all right, up here at the top, and how did he contribute? Hoover, then a 24-year-old Justice Department lawyer, played a central role in orchestrating the raids, appointed by Palmer in August 1919 to head the newly created GID, a precursor to that one. Okay. Hoover compiled extensive files on over 200,000 suspects, radicals, by gathering intelligence for various agencies. He planned the logistics of the operation, including identifying targets, securing or bypassing, right, warrants, and coordinating with local authorities and the Department of Labor for deportations. Hoover's efforts were the key to the scale of the January 2nd, 1920 raids, and the largest single night action, and helped establish early precedents for the surveillance and anti-radical activities. Now, you can be labeled radical just for saying, hey, you beat my grandfather and threw him in jail without due process. And if that is an inconvenient thing, like the truth tends to be very inconvenient, then you're shut up, radical, anarchist. You hate America. Throw this man in jail. Very easy to categorize, and if you think that if you are not being monitored, how much more if you have ever said Yahweh White Yahweh Shai? Because remember, the name of the Lord is dreadful among the heathen. I think it's like that. Dreadful as a terror. The name of the Lord is a strong tower, yes, but it is also, God dang it, the name of the Lord is I think it is dreadful. Right, Malachi? 1 and 14. Let's just see. I don't remember. And it will continue on. Alright, but cursed be the deceiver which hath in his flock a male and vow to sacrifice unto the Lord corrupting. For I am a great king, saith the Lord of hosts. Yeah. And my name is dreadful among the heathen, right? So that falls in line with that nervous person that has that guilt complex, all right? That delusional guilt. Okay, 200,000 suspects, all right? Gathered intelligence from various agencies. He planned logistics. We read that. All right, we read that as well. Okay, so his involvement in the Palmer raids launched his career, leading to his long tenure as the director of a three-letter word agency, though it also highlighted his willingness to prioritize security over individual rights, right? And that is another thing that you'll see peace and safety, then sudden destruction, right? They're always talking about security and safety, but on one side, but on the other hand, they sell your information, they pollute your water and your air and your food, the food that you can't even afford, mind you, right? It's just a very, very interesting situation, a very hypocritical leader. All right, Job 9:24 tells you earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and they are wicked in every which way that you can think of, right? And if he does good, he doth it unwillingly. I think that is Ecclesiasticus. Um, yes. Where are you at? Yes, Sirach, also known, or Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach. Um, 14 is. I'm gonna get it here because I think we need. No, no, we'll. It's cool. If anything, I'll just go back to it. Hello, can't read. Here we go. 14 and 7. We'll just scroll down to it, right? Or we'll do 6. There is none worse than he that envieth himself, and this is the recompense of his wickedness. And if he doth good, he doth it unwillingly, and at the last he will declare his wickedness. The envious man hath a wicked eye, and he turneth away his face and despiseth men. Covetous man's eye is not satisfied with his portion, right? What does Habakkuk 2 and 5 tell you? That is a direct precept right there. And the iniquity of wickedness, okay, let's start it over. A covetous man's eye is not satisfied with his portion, and the iniquity of the wicked drieth up his soul. And he is a niggard at his table. Why don't we get that? Let's get that. I know what it means. But I want to see it on the screen. It's an adjective meaning stingy or miserly. Miserly. What the hell is miserly? Covetous. Can I just get a... Okay. Can I get just a noun? There we go. A mean, stingy, or parsimonious person. A miser. Oh, a miser. Okay. A person who only grudgingly parts with, spends, or uses of anything. Also, in extended use with reference to emotion. What is a parsimonious? Characterized by you. Good grief. Can you just... Uh-huh. Latin parsimonia. Just, I don't understand, man. And I'm not signing in either, damn it. Parsimonious meaning. unwilling to spend or use resources, stingy or frugal. Yep. Aha. Yes, sir. So yeah, that checks out. Of course, we knew that because it is written. So, I think we've made our point here, and I think that you can use your wisdom to draw parallels on what we have here with a future, a very, very near future, what we may or may not allegedly have going on here, right, with a certain frozen water gang. So, with that being said, I truly, truly pray that you were edified, and that it sparks you to dig even deeper into what we just went over. And with that, on to the next.